We must guard against hating evil more than loving good. We on the right are too easily angered and outraged by the nonsense that the left proposes. The left says that we are against children, trans children, when we oppose anyone under the age of 18 having the ability to make permanent life choices through surgery, through sexual reassignment surgery on children. They say that we're anti-trans. Yes, it's outrageous that they would allow children to mutilate themselves in order to serve their political agenda. Yes, a normal person would get angry about that, but we can't allow ourselves to be. We on the right stand for children. We love children. We do not want children to be allowed to harm themselves any more than allowing a child to control a steam shovel when they're 6. We shouldn't allow a child to take permanent life-altering hormones or to go under the knife because they have a moment of confusion. The point of children and teenagers is to discover yourself. And in that discovery, there are moments of confusion. Only a groomer on the left, somebody who wanted to recruit homosexuals or gender confused people, would even suggest that a child should be allowed to make such a choice on their own. Yes, they say things that are outrageous. In the name of preventing global climate change, we must have global regulation, they say. Human freedom is the problem, they say. Unfettered human activity in pursuit of greed is what has brought the world to this dangerous climate moment, they say. We're on the edge of another ice age or a warming period of flooding, they say. They can't really make up their minds about that. That should tell you something. Oh, and by this point in 2022, the world should have already been destroyed according to their early climate models. They don't talk about that. But they still propose the same thing. The very same solution to the problem of poverty for the workers of the world 100 years ago, proposed by Lenin and Marx, is now being touted as the solution to man-made climate change. A global regulatory regime with the power to control all human activity. This is nonsense, but it's angering. The answer to global climate problems is not socialism or communism or government regulations. Remember that coal-powered steam engines were used on communist railroads throughout Eurasia longer than anywhere else on Earth, because communism does not innovate. It causes stasis and decay, stagnation and stultification. No, the answer to global climate change is freedom. The freedom to innovate, the freedom to create, the freedom to experiment, the freedom to try new things. The American standard of living of the late 20th and early 21st centuries is a product of unshackling human freedom, of unshackling the creative power of the individual. Yes, it's outrageous that they want to enslave us, that they want to reset the world so that a bunch of plutocrats and technocrats can act like new feudal lords and we'll be their peasants, serfs, and slaves. Of course, that's outrageous. But we have the truth on our side. History is on our side. Human nature is on our side. We must love freedom more than we hate communism. Free speech is the answer to every identity problem and form of oppressive racism or groupism that there is. You don't win an argument by censoring your opponents. You win an argument by persuading the undecided that your opponent's ideas are inferior to yours. And the only way to do that is through free speech. Free speech for everyone, including stupid, evil people, because stupid, evil people will express their ideas and expose their stupidity and evil. You give a person a rope, they'll hang themselves with it. But free speech also allows people to work through these complex issues of identity. Is there systemic racism? I deny it. But the answer isn't to get huffy and furious and say, how dare you express the question? No, the answer is to talk about reality. The reality of post-1964 America, where racism is against the law, thanks to the Civil Rights Law of 1964. We on the right are like a bull that is shown a red cloak by a toreador, and the left is very adroit at doing the dance of the toreador, of the bullfighter, drawing us into a predictable path of attack and then dancing away and hooking us so that we bleed, and eventually stabbing us so that they win. Our goal is not perfection. It's not utopia. It's not some crystalline image of a perfected world where perfected people can live. Our utopia exists now. It's called freedom. It's described by the United States Constitution. It's a place where everyone has the opportunity to become who they want to be, to discover God, to serve their truth, to live without reference to some pettifogging bureaucrat in a capital office somewhere. We have the truth on our side. We must remember that love of humanity, love of freedom, love of discourse, love of the truth is what defines traditionalists, conservatives, and libertarians. Love, not hate. Joy, not anger.